Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for this public hearing on the Mobile Area Water and Sewer System proposed 2021 budget. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have changed the method of having this hearing, and we are live streaming it. But your questions and input are just as important to us as if you were here in person. My name is Charles Highland. I'm the director at MAWSS. I'd like to review the format that we're going to use tonight so everyone knows what to expect. I have some basic information that I need to read into the record. After that, we have a short video. After the video, we'll have a PowerPoint presentation. This shows some of the challenges and some of the work being done. That's going to be presented by Doug Cody, Assistant Director over Operations. And then Bud McCrory, Assistant Director over Administration, will discuss the budget and some of the issues in the 2021 proposed budget. As I mentioned, we are live streaming this meeting, and you can submit your questions by typing them in the comment section. Please include your name and address with your questions. After the PowerPoint presentation, we will answer any questions that have been submitted. This hearing is being held on Thursday, December 10th, 2020 at 6 p.m. at the MAWSS Park Forest Plaza office, located at 4725 Moffett Road, Mobile, Alabama. And the meeting is being live streamed. The public hearing was advertised as required by law and is open to public input. The MAWSS staff presented this proposed 2021 budget, which includes a proposed rate increase of 3% to our board, but the board has not approved the budget. When last year's public hearing was held, we had asked the board to approve not just the budget for 2020, but to also consider a 6.5% rate increase for 2021. Due to the impact of COVID-19 on our customers, the decision was made to reduce that proposed rate increase for 2021 down to 3%. This proposed budget will allow us to address many of the challenges that we have, to be both regulatory compliant and to address aging infrastructure issues and to help reduce future wet weather sewer overflows. The funds that are needed for these investments come from you, our ratepayers, since we do not receive other funding such as tax dollars. During this year, COVID-19 has been a challenge and has an impact on our organization and on our employees just as it has had on you. I'm proud of our employees at MAWSS for working safely to continue to provide critical, essential services to this community. Our goal every day is to continue to achieve our mission, which is to protect and enhance the health, safety, and economic well-being of our community through the responsible management of water resources while providing superior customer service. We are very interested in your comments tonight. This meeting is being taped, and a written transcript will be shared with our board members so that they can weigh all information before making a decision on the proposed 2021 budget at the board meeting, which will be held on Monday, December 21st, 2020. Remember, you can submit your questions during live stream by typing in the comment section. Now we'll have a short video that will tell a little bit about who we are and what we do. Thank you.
In Mobile, we are fortunate to have a reliable supply of good, clean water. The vision to create what's now known as Mobile Area Water and Sewer System and the planning and infrastructure began following World War II. The inevitable population growth following the war made modernization a priority, and the hunt for a continual and reliable water source with the potential for expansion began. Soon, a source was proposed, a study was completed, and a plan was approved and enacted. The choice was a very good one indeed. By damming several small tributaries of the Escatapa River, the waters backed up and began to expand. The ultimate result being a 3,600 square acre lake. Today, this lake is known as Big Creek Lake. The new infrastructure began with the intake facility on the far eastern edge of the lake. Featuring pumps powered by 800 horsepower engines, this lakeside facility is more than capable of meeting the needs of the metropolitan and ever-expanding Mobile region. Equipped with the latest technology, including two 60-inch diameter pipes leaving the Gilliard pumping station for our Myers and Stickney reservoir facilities. The combined capability of the two facilities is a whopping 90 million gallons per day, but the typical demand for MAWSS customers is 5,000 gallons a month. At the Stickney and Myers reservoirs, the water is clarified, filtered, and disinfected. Our treated water from these two facilities exceeds federal guidelines and standards and is subjected to constant tests throughout the time spent at the reservoirs. This process takes 7 to 15 hours, and water is then held in reservoirs before leaving on the last leg of the journey to your home or place of work. The water makes a trip through thousands of miles of underground pipes to customers throughout our community. This is the same water that you use in your kitchen to clean your clothes, to water your lawns, and is used to extinguish fires. Delivering millions of gallons of water daily is only half our job at MAWSS. Every time you take a shower or flush your toilet, you send wastewater to our treatment facility. All wastewater must be cleaned and treated by rigorous environment-friendly standards so the water is healthy before returning back to nature. We have two wastewater treatment facilities in Mobile, Wright Smith and C.C. Williams wastewater treatment facilities. Here, particles are removed and the wastewater is clarified and treated. This is critical for our environment and our community health. Providing clean, quality water and treating wastewater are important jobs. We are proud of what we do and the hundreds of safety-conscious MAWSS team members who are hard at work around the clock to bring Mobilians the sparkling, clean, refreshing water they depend on. We realize the important service we provide and never forget Our work is only noticed if quality water is not meeting or exceeding standards, and that's truly a good thing. If you would like more information about the work we do, or would like a tour of the facilities, visit our website. We would love to show everyone how we're hard at work to keep water working.
Good evening. My name is Doug Cody, Assistant Director over Operations. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm going to talk a little bit about our infrastructure. A year ago, when we had this meeting, I spoke about a master plan that the board was pursuing, a master plan to renew our infrastructure so that we could prepare the utility to serve the community for generations to come. And I'm going to show on the screen some information that you can go to our website and get, but I think it's important when we talk about rates and rate increases and so forth, that the community understand the size and the complexity of the system that we operate in order to provide water and sewer service to our customers. What's on the screen is a summary of our assets, and I'm not going to read all of those, but to understand the magnitude of our system, of course, we have the raw water system, which includes Big Creek Lake, some pumping stations, some reservoirs, and we have 56 miles of pipeline from Big Creek Lake and the Mobile River systems, which are our raw water systems. In our potable water system, we have 2 water treatment plants, the Stickney and the Myers. And we have about 1,605 miles of main pipeline, but I'm going to talk a little bit later about additional pipeline that adds to that and nearly doubles it. Then we have booster stations, 5 ground storage tanks, 5 elevated storage tanks, 3 reservoirs, 32,000 valves in this system, 12,500 fire hydrants roughly. And in the wastewater system, we have the C.C. Williams wastewater treatment plant, the Wright Smith wastewater treatment plant, 193 lift stations, 220 miles of force main that's attached to those lift stations, and 1,280 miles of gravity sewer main, 29,000 manholes roughly, 99,000 service laterals, 2 severe weather attenuation tanks, 3 decentralized systems. And so when we did our master plan, one of the things we did was value our assets, and the consultants who studied the system determined that it would cost $4 billion to replace this system today. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of how big this system is and the value of it. And I'm just going to walk through some aerial photographs of our system. This is Big Creek Lake. Of course, it's our water source for potable water in Mobile. And this is the dam and the spillway at Big Creek Lake. And then that raw water is fed first to our Myers water treatment plant, and then to the Stickney plant, which is at the intersection of Moffitt and Shelton Beach Road. And then, of course, we have our wastewater treatment plants. This is our primary wastewater treatment plant, which is the C.C. Williams wastewater treatment plant on McDuffie Island. And then this is our Wright Smith wastewater treatment plant, which is on Conception Street. What we'd like for the public to understand is that it's difficult to know as a customer what the condition of our assets is, because our most expensive assets are our pipelines. And what this picture illustrates is that we have a separate water main that feeds services to homes. There is a separate stormwater system which is operated and owned by the city. And then there's a sanitary sewer system that provides laterals to homes and buildings that brings the wastewater to MAWSS for treatment. And so this is a map that shows our water lines. And the water lines are aged. Some of them are over 100 years old. As this particular slide shows, we have 195 miles of cast iron water line that's over 100 years old. And then much more pipe than that, about 650 miles of pipe that's 50 years or older through 99 years old. In the distribution system is made up of the water mains, that bring water to the location of the house. Then we have the private service line that feeds, the public service line that feeds water from the water main line to the property line. And then we have a private service line that takes that water from the property line into the home or the building. When you look at this, you see that there's a total of roughly 3,500 miles of line that's necessary to serve water to the community. On the wastewater side, as you can see here, that the sewer that's over 50 years old is about 494, roughly 500 miles. And much of that sewer pipe is made out of either concrete or vitrified clay pipe. Vitrified clay pipe is the same material that flower pots are made out of. Here again, we have the public main line that brings or takes the wastewater to the plants, and then we have the public service line, which is in the right-of-way, and then we have the private service line, which brings the wastewater from the buildings to the public service line, from the public service line to the public main line, and then on to the treatment plants. So infrastructure ages a lot like a car, and this is something that we probably all know intuitively, but we don't think about it because it's out of sight and basically out of mind. And as we know with cars, they get old with time, and you can make repairs to them over time, but after a while, it costs so much to repair them that they have to be replaced in order to keep them functional and to keep them reliable. Well, the same thing is true with infrastructure. And so as we look at aging water distribution and sanitary sewer systems, in the aging sewer lines, we have stormwater infiltration and inflow to the sanitary sewer that causes sanitary sewer overflows. We have hydrogen sulfide corrosion of the pipe materials used for sewers, predominantly for concrete that was used decades ago. Materials of construction in the past have basically reached their expected useful lives, which is usually about 50 years for a sanitary sewer system built in the past. Defective sewer laterals on private property cause infiltration and inflow. As you might imagine, homes that were built decades ago, back at the time some of these sewer mains were constructed, those homes have the same pipe conditions, same materials, and same problems as we do in the public system. And then we have more stringent regulations today from the regulatory agencies about how to operate and maintain these systems. And then in Mobile, we have even a greater challenge in dealing with one of the rainiest cities in the United States. So keeping stormwater and groundwater out of the collection system is a major challenge for us, and one of the greatest expenses that we have in regard to renewing our infrastructure. In the aging water lines, as I mentioned previously, some of the water lines are more than 100 years old. We have old valves, many of which are not operable and need to be replaced. And we have service lines that may need to be replaced. But the bottom line is that the age of this infrastructure, like that old car, is getting to the point where it becomes less reliable and has to be renewed. I talked about private property, and this particular slide shows a dividing line, that dashed line that runs vertically, between the public lateral, which extends to the left and toward the street, and the private lateral that extends to my right toward the home. And what this picture shows are the various defects that can occur in those laterals. It can be roots in the laterals, it can be broken pipe, it can be building cleanouts that are defective, that are allowing groundwater into the system and draining the yards and so forth. And all that water comes into a sanitary sewer system that was not designed to convey stormwater. And therein lies the problem. We exceed the capacity of the sanitary sewer system, and it basically fills and then overflows from manholes. And that is something that we've got to work to prevent. So in our water and wastewater treatment plants, we have aging structures, aging electrical systems, we have mechanical equipment exceeding its useful life, we have obsolete technology, we have increased capacity needs, and we have changes that are required to address changing regulations. So a year ago, when I was talking about the master plan, I listed projects that we were going to pursue. And I said that I was going to come back and mention the status of those projects. Well, this particular slide shows some of those projects, and then there's another slide that shows a continuing list. So projects are under construction in 2020. Some of them started in 2019 but carried forward into 20. The Slava Creek Lift Station screen installation at $3 million. That project is complete. The 3 Mile Creek wet weather storage facility and the 3 Mile Creek trunk sewer, those two projects are 85% complete, and that's a project predominantly designed to reduce wet weather sanitary sewer overflows on the 3 Mile Creek trunk line. The digester adjournments at Smith wastewater treatment plant is complete. West Mobile trunk sewer extension is complete. AMI Phase 2, which is our automated meter infrastructure. Our assistant director over admin is going to talk a little bit about that later. And we're also working with the city to ensure that when the city replaces or renews the right-of-way, basically replacing the streets, sidewalks, and so forth, that we are partnering with the city so that the water and sewer infrastructure in those new streets can be replaced at the same time. And this is a very good joint venture with the city, between MAWSS and the city, because it's a very good way and the most economical way to replace the right-of-way and the infrastructure that's in the right-of-way, so that when the street is finished, it's not only new on top, but it's also new down below in the water and sewer facilities. And then each year we budget money to do miscellaneous sewer system repair, rehab, and we have to build access roads sometimes to get to our facilities in remote areas. That was $9.2 million that we had budgeted last year, and that's 85% complete. We had to overlook water line improvements that we had to make. That was a $1.2 million project that was complete. And again, you can go to our website and see these slides and look at more detail in regard to these projects. So also some additional projects. The Big Creek Lake Dam Spillway Tanner Gate Automation Project is about 5% completed, just got started. The Dog River Drive Lift Station is about 70% complete. The force main relocations that we talked about last year, one phase is complete. The second phase is 11% complete, and there's actually 4 total phases to this replacement. The Smith Wastewater Treatment Plant Headworks project got started, it's 10% complete. Mainline valve replacements at the Bankhead Tunnel. Some of you may have remembered that about 3 years ago we had a water main break at the intersection of Royal and Government. And during that break, water leaked into the tunnel. They had to close the tunnel and so forth. And that was an indicator to us that we needed to do a project to replace the water lines around that tunnel. And that project is currently underway. Again, we had the sewer system repair 9.2 and the Slaven Halls Mill lift station valve replacement at 0.6. I think that maybe Stickney critical valve replacement might be a little bit longer in completion. And the sewer system rehab, I think that's redundant. So that total that you see down there at the bottom is actually about $119 million that we're pursuing in projects that were under construction in 2020. Now, as we move into 2021, the projects that we plan to bid and get into construction are the Slava force main replacement from Broad Street to Perimeter Road. That's phase 3 of that force main replacement. The Williams wastewater treatment plant dewatering facility, $26.5 million. Stickney water treatment plant, 50 million gallon reservoir renovations, $7.5 million. Electrical upgrades to the Stickney plant, $10 million. Sewer system repair and rehab, $8.4 million is budgeted for 2021. And then some more street projects that we're partnering with the city on. We have McGregor North water and sewer replacement, Texas Street water and sewer replacement, and St. Louis Street water and sewer replacement. So the projects, the main projects that we're pursuing in 2021, sum to about $75 million. Then moving forward, some other projects that reach farther out to 2022 and later is, we've talked about the Slava Force Main Perimeter Road. That's phase 4 of that project, which would complete the replacement of that force main. at $15.6 million. The Slava Forest Main Slip Lining Project at $7 million. Stickney Water Treatment Plant Dewatering Facility upgrades at $10.3. And then the Slava Creek Severe Weather Abatement Tank, which is a SWAT facility, and the associated relief sewer, is about $50 million in projects for the purpose of reducing sanitary sewer overflows on the Slava Creek trunk line. And then we're doing SCADA upgrades throughout the system, and SCADA is a system that communicates information about our plant and our lift stations to the operators so that we know what's going on in these systems and we can monitor their performance and control some of them from within the control room. So it's a very important technology for communications of equipment and instrumentation. So I've mentioned here overall in these slides roughly about $300 million in projects that we are pursuing over the course of about 5 years or so. And the ability to move forward with these projects is going to depend largely on the revenue that we receive. And we will be looking at annually at revenues received and operations cost. And we're pursuing reductions in operations cost, which Bud will talk about later, to give us more monies to deal with the capital projects. But we think that all of these projects position us very well to serve the community in the future. And I'm just going to show you a few slides about the construction of the 3 Mile Creek SWAT facility. This was the drawing and that I showed last year as a proposed project. And this, of course, shows both the tanks and the trunk sewer. And this is the construction of the tanks, continued construction of the tanks. Contractor is shotcreting the wall of the tanks. And this is the tanks in their completed state. Although the project's not finished, the tanks are complete. The 3 Mile Creek trunk sewer, it's shown here in the red line. This project is well underway. This is the contractor positioning high-density polyethylene pipe to be fused together. This is the pipe after it's been fused. It's got a pulling head on the front of it. It will be horizontally drilled underneath 3 Mile Creek and pulled underneath 3 Mile Creek. The trunk sewer project and the SWAT project are estimated to be complete by either the end of the first quarter or first part of the second quarter in 2021, and then placed into service. This project and this facility is very similar to what we're proposing to build on the Slava trunk sewer in order to address SSOs there. So that completes my discussion about our projects, where we're headed in regard to the master plan. One of our big goals, of course, is to address and reduce sanitary sewer overflows in the system, and then upgrade it so that in the future we can continue to serve our customers as well as we possibly can. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. My name is Bud McCrory. I'm the Assistant Director over Administration here with MAWSS. Thank you for gathering with us tonight as we discuss our budget. I'm going to cover a few of the issues we are facing with our budget and some tough decisions the board and staff had to make in reference to that. So, first thing I'd like to cover on the screen here. I'll let the screen get set. This is what you see on the screen here is you see our one-page budget. I'll mention this multiple times during the presentation that, you know, under the description box in the live stream feed there, you can gather all of this information that we're discussing here tonight. But under this budget here, this is our one-page budget. You can see we have our 2020 approved and our 2020 proposed. The proposed budget is what we're taking comments on, and as Charles discussed, those comments will be taken back to the board, and the board will make a decision on where to move forward with those comments. This one-page budget covers all of our gross revenues of about 114 million. Our expenses are at about 64 for our O&M. Debt service, both debt service and transfers are shown also. And it also shows our principal and interest coverage below. So again, this information is shared on our MAWSS.com doing business with MAWSS under our public notice policies. You know, when we talk about our budget, as Doug mentioned, we talk about our capital pay-go funds. And under those pay-go funds, this is where we fund all the projects that Doug has mentioned earlier. You know, our 10-year additional funding has been about almost $100 million. It's been about $98 million. You know, we did have a decline from the 2020, and you can see each year we were escalating as we moved through this. But in this current budget year, due to COVID-19, we have had a revenue loss, and I'll discuss that in a little bit more detail later. But as you can see, this is what's causing the drop from the 29.3 to the 24.8. So how does this budget affect our current rates? As you can see here, in our 2020 budget, we were currently at about a 328 per thousand. It's going to go up about 10 cents. And you know, those larger users, you can see we're going to go about 9 and about 6 cents a current. And we'll go from 819 to 844. And this is our capital improvement fee and the charges related to it. Again, all this information is available on our website, and it's also, there's a link under the description box on the live stream. So how does that affect you as a customer? From 2020 to 2021, the way we read this is basically a 2,500 gallon minimum user. Basically it's going to go up about 92 cents, and the annual increase is about $11. A lot of our customers fall in this 5,000 gallon range, to where you're going to see about a $1.80 increase and about a $21.60 annual increase. And of course, some of our larger users here are going to see about $2.67 and $32.04. And as you can see, the more water you use, the larger the increase. All of this funding is used to fund our current O&M and our capital improvement projects. So when we talk O&M, we talk about our operations and maintenance. You know, we always look at this to see how we can make sure we streamline and be as efficient as possible here in the organization. I am happy to report that this year that we actually have a negative 0.1% decrease in our O&M budget from the 2020 year. This is due to a lot of efforts on behalf of staff and just trying to be fair to our ratepayers. Average O&M increase over this 10-year period has been about 1.7%, but again, we're happy to report that we're at about negative 0.1% this year compared to last year. Our current O&M budget is about $64,267,000. So a few other assumptions, as Charles mentioned. You know, it was a difficult decision as staff approached the board with the current proposed 6.5 rate increase last year. And due to the COVID and some different things related to it, you know, the staff felt that we need to reduce that by 3.5%. So what we have proposed to the board is a 3% rate increase, and that was a very tough decision on both staff and the board. But due to the current need of our infrastructure, it was felt that we would move forward with a 3% rate increase. You know, some other assumptions, and these are some, I'll talk a little bit about these a little later here, but we're talking about a 10% late fee, which is applied to those customers who are not paying on time. You know, the board felt it was in the best interest of all of our customers that we waive that 10% late fee, and we waived it from March at the beginning of the COVID crisis until September the 23rd of this year. That waived increase it was about an $800,000 hit to the board and to our current budget. We also, as I mentioned earlier, and why we saw the decrease in our pay-go numbers going down, is that we're showing about a $7.3 million shortfall from what our anticipated revenues were to be. And the reason that is because we're basically having some businesses who aren't using as much water, and you can relate to that with restaurants and different things that were closed for a period of time and then are opening up to limited seating and all of that. That's why you see here that our commercial revenues have actually dropped about 12% this year. So compared to last year, we've seen a 12% reduction in revenues and consumption out of our commercial accounts. And also included in that is, again, by waiving late fees and not cutting, we were not disconnecting service for any reason, and we just continued that and started that back up in our November period, is that we have about 8,200 delinquent counts, which equal about 3.7 million of this 7.3 million. You know, the thing that this board is not wanting to do is we are not wanting to disconnect anyone's water. But with a shortfall of 7.3 million, we had to make a tough decision. That tough decision was to turn that key and turn that switch back on to where we would move forward with delinquent accounts. Again, it is not the intent of this water board to disconnect service for any reason. That's why we want payment arrangements. We are open to whatever a customer can help us with that, just to set up a payment arrangement procedure to have in place to move forward to try to get these delinquent accounts down. And that is something that we're doing every day. We have a call center that's open to try to work with every customer we come in contact with. A few other things that are going on at MAWSS, and Doug mentioned the first one here, the AMI Advanced Metering Infrastructure Project. It's important that I touch on that, and I'll have a screen for it later that goes into great detail. But I also want to mention our Neighbors in Need program. This is a program that helps customers and ratepayers who are unable to pay their bill. We also want to talk a little bit about our Citizens Water Academy. It's believing in the transparency in what we do. And then I do want to touch a little bit on our Supplier Diversity program, which I think is top notch, and our current payment kiosk process that we have kind of evolved into a larger coverage area. So one of the things about our AMI infrastructure system, this is where we actually read the meters electronically, and I have a short video I'm going to show that's kind of cover all this, but some of the benefits are it's accurate and reliable meter reading. No human error involved in that. No estimating or averaging, because we're capturing that read here at the office. It's accurate hourly and daily consumption data. The ability to compare consumption data. Improved customer service, improved and accurate billing, online monitoring, on-site monitoring, and early leak detection. That's a key component of this, and this video in a few minutes is going to cover that. This basically sends from the customer's meter to an antenna to MAWSS and to the website where you can access this information. This graph is actually showing you hourly graph data from an actual customer. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play a quick little video. Try to get this set up.
At MAWSS, we're continually making improvements to keep water safe and working for you. Part of that effort is integrating a system-wide upgrade with Advanced Metering Infrastructure, or AMI. This project will replace the outdated meters of our area, providing residents with state-of-the-art meters that will ensure a more accurate meter reading and improved billing accuracy. The technology uses radio frequency to transmit water usage to a MAWSS database every 4 hours. This new technology will also allow MAWSS meter readers to be absorbed into other MAWSS departments to better serve our community. When your smart meter is installed, you can sign into your MAWSS account and set up alerts to your email. Alerts will display your water usage on a daily or weekly basis when the amount of your choosing is reached. You can also view or monitor your water usage online and detect leaks sooner when a shift in water usage is substantial. These alerts provided by the new AMI system will aid in budgeting and conservation of water for potential savings. Creating an account is simple. Go to MAWSS.com and click on the My MAWSS Account button to create or log into your MAWSS account. After signing into your MAWSS account, click on My Smart Meter, which will redirect you to a new page where you can view your billing cycle, usage, and data, or set up alerts. To set up your alerts, click on Configure under the Billing Cycle Threshold section. Here you can set your water usage preferences to receive alerts and notifications. To turn on these alerts, simply check Enable. Then on the sidebar, click on Alert Recipients. Then check the box on whatever type of notifications you desire and click Save. If you wish, you can also add other recipients' names and their email addresses on this page as well. You may also activate alerts within selected dates for peace of mind when you're on vacation or will be away from your property for an extended period of time. If your water usage exceeds a selected amount within those days, you will receive a notification. It's our job to not only provide you with safe and reliable drinking water, but to provide you with standards and service that truly contribute to your overall quality of life. We look forward to continuing the integration of this technology and the benefits it provides to keep water safe and working for you.
That was a short video to basically tell you, about the AMI process. We think this has been a great step for MAWSS. It's become an expectation of our customer base that they receive instant information at the touch of their hand. And we believe that this is providing that. We encourage everybody to go as the video is described online and set this system up. You can monitor that information hourly. You can get alerts on all consumption use. And if you have any issues with that, please contact our office and we'll be more than happy to set you up with an account. Now, I mentioned earlier about our Neighbors in Need program. This is a program that MAWSS has in place to help those that are struggling during difficult times in paying their bill. Community Action Center actually processes this for MAWSS. We encourage all customers also to, if you have any need for this, this program is available and is also available on our website. Now, this is something we started a couple years ago here at MAWSS, which is our MAWSS Citizens Water Academy. It basically is an academy that we put together just to explain to our customers what we do and how we do it. It is a very intricate part of educating and creating a transparency between our customer base and MAWSS, and we believe in this. It's been a very successful program for those who have graduated from it. Again, it's to learn about the strategy behind our Keep Water Working campaign. The main goal of this academy is to arm our graduates with data and information so that they understand the workings of a water and wastewater utility and become ambassadors for MAWSS. We have had 2 graduation classes so far. We plan on doing a virtual class at this time in 2021, and we are accepting applications for that. And all of that information, again, is available on our website. And I do want to mention again, everything we're covering tonight, you can go to the links in the description box at the bottom of the YouTube live feed, and you can actually click each and every one of these to get more information. This is something that MAWSS has always been, and I believe we're the industry leader in this. We have a supplier diversity program here at MAWSS to help diverse suppliers grow their business. Felicia Thomas she is our supplier diversity manager and does a great job here at MAWSS. Our program has won 5 national awards, and we're currently, continuing to grow. One of the great things about this program is our mentor protege, and we've already had 4 classes. We're going to begin taking applications at the beginning of this year for class number 5, and this is basically an opportunity for a diverse supplier to gain information about how to do business with MAWSS, gain information about using QuickBooks, information about how to bid processes. And the great thing is it's free to all diverse suppliers. I encourage you, if you're a diverse supplier, to look Ms. Thomas up, go to our website, contact her, try to get information about this program. The success of this has been astronomical. It's been great. And then the last thing I'd like to cover before I turn it back over to Charles is, some of the issues we've had. Of course, with COVID, we've had to close the office for limited contact. And one of the things we've done is we've been very fortunate that we have our payment kiosk. But we've actually expanded that area. We now have 11 payment kiosks in 4 Alabama Power locations. At the Airport Boulevard location, and this map may be difficult to see, but again, we're going to also post a link to this actual presentation where you can kind of zoom in, but the red dots represent that. And basically we have this at the Airport Boulevard, Alabama Power. We have it at the St. Joseph Street, the Industrial Parkway, and the Michigan Avenue. We encourage our customers to go by these sites. It's very easy to use. You approach the kiosk and you select you're going to pay your power bill or your water bill, and when you click in your water bill, it's just like being at the MAWSS kiosk. To build on that, we currently have our kiosk locations at our MAWSS Park Forest facility on Moffett Road. We also have that on Spring Hill Avenue. And we have the drive-through kiosk again here at Moffett Road. And then there's other ways you can pay. Each and every Walmart, as you can see the list here on the left side of the screen. And then we have Northside Check Exchange that is also set up to take a MAWSS payment. Any way that we can begin to collect payments from all customers, this is a great move in a positive direction for us, and this partnership with Alabama Power is something that we are very pleased with. If there's any questions, we're going to take those at these time. One of the great things about it, again, is all of this information is available on our website under Doing Business with Us, under our public notices, and all of the links to this are under our description box under the live stream currently.
No questions have been submitted, so this will conclude our public hearing for the proposed 2021 budget. I'd like to thank you for being with us tonight, and we hope you have a good rest of this evening. Thank you.